Probably the most economical Golf. Hey everyone, welcome back to Vintage Vibes Automotive. Even though this is the first video, so no one's actually been here before, I'm doing this again, starting from the end, even though everything's filmed, and going back to the beginning, because like a fool, I said the YouTube channel name wrong. Vintage Vibe Motors. Now this car is very special to me. Now, it might just be a run-of-the-mill Golf TDI, you know, it might be rotten, it might be on its last legs, but this was my dad's car. I grew up in this, my sister grew up in this car, going on adventures around the UK, so it's got a very special place in my heart for me. I thought I'd do this video first out of all the videos I'm going to do, because I don't actually know how long this car's going to last. Everything is a little bit worn, everything is a little bit creaky. Now this car's quite worn around the edges, it's quite rough, but let's talk about some of the things that I've added or my dad added when the car was a little bit better off and a little bit more lively. My favourite part of this car is the number plate, V3 RCV. What does it mean? It doesn't mean a lot. My dad didn't have V3 RCV in his name. Basically, he wanted to buy a bike, which was going to be the V3 RCV, and his plan was to make money on it. But they ended up calling the bike the V4 RCV. So this plate became worthless, and it just stuck on the car for about 15 years. So one of the things with this car, and one thing that lets every Mk5 down, is rust. Lots and lots and lots of rust. Loads and loads of patches on the sills. And this is going to be what probably kills the car. Now the sills have been hidden by a really lovely side skirt, and also if you come around here, see that I've just bolted them in place because there's nothing to hang them on to.
Is that a wood screw?
Yeah, wood screw, self-tapping.
Nice.
Hey! I think I might be a little bit too small for this child's booster seat now that I'm 360 months old. It's also a TDI, so probably the most economical Golf. Would you just look at it? 1, 2, 3, 4 cylinders of ultimate performance. Now, my dad in 2008, when this car was 3 years old, he couldn't actually afford much. Let me just, this radio's doing its own thing, let me start again. So when my dad got this car almost new to him in 2008, he couldn't afford the best one. So over the years he ended up getting some nice little bits like GTI seats, and then he died, so we couldn't really get any more than that. So I have added things like the Highline cluster, the multi-function steering wheel, and this really out-of-date radio. When we went to record some drone shots, my friend said we should go to Breedon on the Hill, but at the time I didn't realise this is where my dad would drive me and my sister for a bit of a trip out when we had nothing to do. We'd always come here, so I thought it was rather fitting to say that and to mention that this is quite a special place.
There's actually quite a lot of memories in that car. Back when me and Connor were younger, we went on our first night out in Chesterfield at 18, the ripe age of 18. It was the first time I'd ever been in a car doing 115 mile an hour, and God, it felt fast. And who doesn't love a Golf?
Do you know,
silver.
He would do, on his birthday, on the 25th of December, he would do about 120 down the A38, because he'd say, it's my birthday. Policemen don't pull me over on my birthday and Christmas.
And you get away with it in a Golf.
He never did get caught.
That's incredible.
He's dead now. He won't get caught. Okay, so I thought I'd talk more about how much this car cost and how much it would owe my family. In 2008, my dad bought this car for £3,600 and it had 60,000 miles on the clock. To this day, it's still the original engine, turbo and gearbox. It has full service history, so I thought I'd add up how much some of this has cost over time. So, the list is very long. It would take a lot longer of a video if I had mentioned every single thing that was brought. But it has had 4 clutches with dual mass flywheels, 3 timing belts and water pumps, and a whopping 26 oil and filter changes. So with every little bit of service history added up, this come to £6,934.60, and that's not including tax or fuel. As I got older and as the car got older, I learnt mechanics and I could help out with some of the costs, so 8 oil and filters have been done by me, and also things such as calipers, discs and pads and shock absorbers have been changed by me. In the 16 years my family has owned this car, including the cost of the car, this all equated to £10,534.60, and it was all this to cover 228,000 miles. That is not including the 60,000 that was done prior to us owning it. Looking at old newspapers from 2004, a Mk5 Golf TDI SE would cost around £16,885. Added together onto the cost in total of ours would be £27,419. The turbo's really whiny. The turbo makes quite the owl noise. Okay, so the happy end of this story, which is funny because I did this video because I thought that the days were numbered on this. I thought the turbo was going. It's actually the exhaust clamp in the middle just after the cat has become detached, which means I don't really have an exhaust. But it fooled me because it's still quite quiet. The turbo and the catalytic converter really dampens down the sound, so it doesn't sound like you have your back box has become detached. So it's a good thing. And also, don't show any continuity. Always change your clothes. Always have a different haircut. As you can see, the exhaust clamp has just given way. So this was the culprit, a rusty exhaust clamp. It's just become detached, so it's not actually holding anything in place. Find a brand new used part, slap that on, raw dog it, no pace. And there we have it, fixed for another 300,000. I did this video first because I thought my dad's car's days were numbered, and they are to a degree. But like a fool, I let anxiety get the better of me, and I thought my turbo was going out. When it turns out, again, the exhaust clamp between the catalytic converter and the back box had detached, and that made my car sound like a train, like a doo noise. Insert it here. So now everything is nice and smooth, and I'm happy. I'm pretty sure this car's going to live for a while still, hopefully, touch wood, and we'll all be Jim Dandy. When my dad passed away 5 years ago, it was obviously, for me, it was the end of the world for me for a while. It was really traumatic, and this car is an extension of him. Like, this is the last living, breathing part of him still alive. And you know, I find it upsetting knowing that one day this car won't run anymore. One day this car's going to be too rusty to maintain. One day the engine or the turbo or the gearbox or the engine mounts are going to give up. And it's sad, but I feel it's good to move on, and it's good to have change. And I've got a lovely friend group and family here to support me. And I accept that one day this car won't be driving anymore, and it might not be around. But for now, I'm having a great time on it. I'm loving it, and I'm reminiscing the times that I had with my dad. So I'd like to dedicate this video to my dad, Simon Woodward. I also have more videos on my channel soon. I've got a Mark III Golf 16 valve colour concept, which you might be interested in. A Mark II Golf GTD. A Mark IV Golf PD130, which is running a little bit poorly at the moment. If you like this video and it wasn't too janky, please remember to like, comment and maybe subscribe, because then I'll make more videos, and then hopefully if it goes alright I'll buy better equipment. And as an absolute note to myself, never ever film on a really hot day with the windows up in a really warm car. And that's where the video should end. But I do have a nice video of me and my dad getting my GTI running. This was the first GTI I ever owned, and I was over the moon to have a GTI, but it was a non-runner, and he was the man that helped me get it running. Woo! Told you that.